Welcome back to another episode of Money Mind Unlocked. I'm your host, Scott Blaze. Today, we're breaking down a topic that can change the way you handle your finances forever. 5 powerful rules of smart money management. These aren't theories from a textbook or vague quotes from a billionaire. These are battle-tested principles, distilled into actionable steps that anyone can apply, whether you're just getting started or looking to level up. Let me start with a story. When I was in my early 20s, I met 2 people, both in the same field, same age, same income bracket. One, we'll call Sarah, always seemed to be stressed. Despite a decent salary, she lived month to month. She worked hard, but money always felt like it was slipping through her fingers. The other, Kevin, was different, quiet, disciplined. He never talked much about money, but over time, it became clear he was investing, saving, building. 10 years later, Kevin owned a home, had a growing portfolio, and options. Sarah was still stuck in the same financial cycle. What made the difference? It wasn't luck, it wasn't talent, it was strategy. Kevin followed 5 simple rules, and they changed everything. Let's dive into rule number 1. Spend less than you earn, always. This sounds obvious, but very few people live it consistently. In a culture that encourages consumption, it's easy to feel like your income is a permission slip to upgrade everything. But true wealth is not about what you make, it's about what you keep. Every dollar you don't spend is a dollar you can save, invest, or use for freedom. Kevin tracked every expense for 3 months. Not because he was obsessive, but because he wanted awareness. He realized he was spending hundreds on things he didn't actually value. Streaming subscriptions, takeout, impulse buys. He didn't cut joy, he cut waste. Rule number 2. Build an emergency fund. This is the foundation of peace. Life is unpredictable. Your car breaks down, you lose a job, someone gets sick. Without a buffer, every emergency becomes a crisis, and you end up in debt or desperation. Aim for 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Keep it liquid, but separate. This isn't investing money, it's insurance for your sanity. Kevin had his emergency fund set up in a high-yield savings account. When his laptop died unexpectedly, he didn't flinch. No credit card, no stress, just a plan. Rule number 3. Pay yourself first. This one is a game changer. Most people pay their bills, spend a little, and if anything's left, they save. But smart money managers flip the order. When Kevin got paid, 20% went straight to his savings and investments. Automatically, no thinking, no emotion, just routine. This is how you build wealth. Not in bursts, but in habits. And here's something to remember. Paying yourself first isn't just about money. It's about mindset. It tells your brain that your future matters, that you are worthy of financial stability. At this point in the episode, if you're finding these rules helpful, pause for a moment. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to this podcast. That's how we grow, how you stay connected, and how we keep spreading smart financial thinking to people who need it. Now back to rule number 4. Invest early and often. You don't need to be a market genius. You don't need thousands to start. You just need to begin. Kevin started with index funds. Simple, low cost, diversified. He didn't try to time the market. He just showed up consistently, month after month, year after year, and that consistency paid off. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to compound. That's the 8th wonder of the world, compound interest. A small seed today can become a forest tomorrow. You might say, but I don't have enough. Start with what you have. Even $50 a month matters. It's not about the amount, it's about the habit. Rule number 5. Avoid bad debt like the plague. Not all debt is equal. A mortgage on a well-priced home? Strategic. A student loan for a valuable degree? Possibly worth it, but credit card debt for clothes, gadgets, or a vacation? That's financial quicksand. Kevin avoided lifestyle inflation. When he got a raise, he didn't immediately spend more. He upgraded his savings rate, not his car. He saw debt for what it was, a thief of future options. Smart money management isn't about being restrictive. It's about being intentional. Every dollar has a job, and your job is to direct it wisely. In the next segment, I'll break down how to apply these rules in real life, how to build a system around them, and how to stay consistent, even when life throws curveballs. Let's move from theory to action. Knowing these 5 rules is one thing. Living them daily is where the transformation happens. So how do you build a system that helps you stick to these rules, without burnout, overwhelm, or decision fatigue? Start with a budget that reflects your priorities. Budgeting isn't punishment, it's permission. Permission to spend on what matters and say no to what doesn't. Kevin used what he called a value-based budget. He categorized his spending into 3 buckets: essentials, growth, and joy. Essentials were rent, groceries, transport. Growth was savings, investing, courses. Joy was fun, hobbies, gifts. Every dollar had a destination, but more importantly, it had a reason. You can do the same. Ask yourself, does this spending reflect what I truly value? If not, adjust. Next, automate everything you can. Automation removes willpower from the equation. It makes consistency effortless. Set up direct transfers to your savings and investments the moment you get paid. Schedule bill payments. Use financial tools that round up your purchases and stash the spare change. Kevin's money moved before he had a chance to touch it. His savings grew silently, his investments accumulated steadily, and his bills got paid without stress. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Third, track progress without obsession. Kevin checked in with his money once a week. Just 10 minutes every Sunday. He looked at his balances, updated his budget, reviewed any unusual expenses. No stress, just awareness. You don't need a spreadsheet with 50 tabs. Start simple. Try the 3-point check-in. 1. How much did I save this week? 2. Did I spend on things I truly value? 3. What can I improve next week? That's it. Over time, these micro adjustments add up to macro results. Fourth, build a financial safety net. Beyond your emergency fund, think of layers: insurance, legal documents, multiple income streams. Kevin wasn't paranoid, he was prepared. He had health insurance, renter's insurance, and term life insurance, not because he expected disaster, but because he respected risk. He also explored side hustles, not for the extra cash alone, but for the optionality. He knew that relying on one income stream was fragile, so he diversified. Now let's address a reality. Life gets messy. Your car breaks down, your friend invites you on a last-minute trip, your rent increases. How do you stay on track? You prepare for flexibility. Kevin had a rule: adjust the plan, never the goal. If he couldn't save 20% one month, he saved 10. If he dipped into his emergency fund, he replenished it immediately. He allowed life, but didn't abandon the mission. Progress isn't a straight line. It's a dance. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But if you keep dancing, you keep moving. Fifth, educate yourself continuously. The world of money is always evolving. New tools, platforms, strategies. Kevin read one finance book every 2 months. He followed thought leaders. He didn't become an expert overnight, but over 5 years, his knowledge compounded. Education compounds just like money. And now, A mindset shift that ties all of this together. See yourself as the CFO of your life. You're not just living, you're managing a business. That business has income, expenses, assets, liabilities. It needs vision, structure, and review. When you start thinking like a CFO, you stop making emotional decisions. You start making strategic ones. And that's where real power begins. In the next segment, I'll share the most common traps that sabotage smart money management, and how to dodge them with clarity and confidence. Now let's talk about the traps. Because knowing what to do is only half the battle. The real challenge is knowing what to avoid. Trap number 1. Lifestyle inflation. This is the silent killer of wealth. Every time your income increases, so do your expenses. New salary, new wardrobe, new promotion, new car, and suddenly, you're making twice as much, but still living paycheck to paycheck. Kevin avoided this by setting lifestyle caps. His rule was simple: for every raise, half went to upgrades, half went to savings. That way, he enjoyed life without derailing his progress. Trap number 2. Emotional spending. Money is emotional. We spend to celebrate, to cope, to connect. But when emotion drives decision, logic gets blurry. Kevin built a 24-hour pause rule. If something wasn't essential, he waited a day before buying. 9 times out of 10, the impulse faded, and so did the desire. Trap number 3. Keeping up with others. Comparison is a trap. Someone else's vacation, new house, or luxury gadget can trigger insecurity. And insecurity breeds spending, not from intention, but from image. Kevin reminded himself often, you can't see someone else's credit card statement. You don't know their debt, their stress, their sacrifices. He didn't want their stuff. He wanted his peace. Trap number 4. Overcomplicating everything. Many people avoid money management because they think it's too complex. They chase the perfect app, the perfect strategy, the perfect timing. Kevin kept it simple: a budget, a savings goal, an investment plan. Nothing fancy, just consistent. Progress loves simplicity. Trap number 5. Waiting for the right time. We tell ourselves, I'll start saving when I earn more. I'll invest when I understand everything. I'll budget when things settle down. That time never comes. Kevin started small: $50 a month, a simple spreadsheet, a 15-minute Sunday review. That was his right time. Here's the truth: small steps now beat big steps someday. Let's also talk about a mindset trap: believing that money is only about numbers. It's not. Money is about identity, behavior, emotion, vision. You don't fix your finances by just fixing your math. You fix your mindset. Kevin saw himself not just as someone who managed money, but as someone who owned his future. That identity shift changed how he spent, saved, and planned. Now let's pivot to legacy. Smart money management isn't just about today, it's about tomorrow. Kevin didn't want to just build wealth. He wanted to build wisdom. He started sharing what he learned with his younger cousins, his friends, even his community group. He created a ripple, and that ripple became a wave. You can do the same. As we head into the final segment, I'll walk you through how to turn these 5 rules into a lifelong rhythm, one that not only builds wealth, but creates confidence, peace, and freedom. Now let's create a rhythm, a repeatable framework that turns the 5 rules of smart money management into habits that last. Step 1. Monthly financial review. On the first Sunday of every month, Kevin sat down for a ritual. Coffee in hand, phone off, journal open. He asked himself 5 questions. 1. What went well financially last month? 2. What challenges did I face? 3. How much did I save or invest? 4. Did my spending reflect my values? 5. What's my one money goal for this month? He tracked, reflected, planned, not in a cold, corporate way, but in a conscious, curious way. This ritual gave him clarity, and clarity gave him consistency. Step 2. Weekly money check-in. Every Sunday, he'd do a short 10-minute scan. Look at balances, glance at expenses, plan the week ahead. If anything seemed off, he adjusted early. No surprises. This micro-rhythm prevented macro mistakes. Step 3. Quarterly wealth strategy session. Every 90 days, he'd review big picture goals. Net worth, investment allocation, career plans. Did he need to increase income? Cut spending? Shift investment strategy? This kept him proactive, not reactive. Step 4. Annual financial retreat. Once a year, he'd take a half day just to zoom out. He'd ask, what does money mean to me right now? What am I building? What's next? He reviewed every account, revisited his goals, and reimagined his vision. That's how you move from managing money to mastering it. Now, let's personalize this rhythm for you. Start by picking your cadence. Maybe monthly feels too far. Start with weekly. Maybe you prefer apps to journals. Find a tool that works for you. The system is not sacred. The habit is. Set reminders. Make it enjoyable. Pair it with a reward, your favorite drink, a quiet space, music you love. This is your time to build your future. Let's close with a mindset mantra. Smart money management is not about restriction. It's about direction. It's not about saying no to everything. It's about saying yes to the things that matter most. When you align your money with your values, your goals, and your vision, every dollar becomes a building block. Kevin's journey wasn't perfect. He made mistakes. He had setbacks. But he stayed in motion. And because of that, he built a life of financial freedom, not from luck, but from intention. And so can you. Let this be your reminder. You don't need to earn more to begin. You need to begin to earn more control, more clarity, and more peace. In the final words of this episode, I'll give you one final challenge, one that could anchor these 5 rules into your life starting today. Here's your challenge. Starting today, commit to a 30-day money discipline reset. No complicated spreadsheets. No guilt. Just clarity and action. Week 1. Track every dollar. Every coffee. Every bill. Every click. Not to judge, but to see. Awareness is step 1. Week 2. Create your 3-category budget. Essentials. Growth. And joy. Define your own percentages. Customize it to your life. Give every dollar a mission. Week 3. Automate one decision. Pick something to automate: savings, investing, bill pay. Remove one point of friction from your financial life. Week 4. Reflect and adjust. What worked? What felt good? What needs tweaking? Make your own rules based on what aligns with your life. That's it. 4 weeks. 4 shifts. 1 lifelong habit in the making. And remember, smart money management is not about numbers alone. It's about self-leadership. It's about deciding, day by day, to direct your resources instead of drifting through them. You can start with $10 or $10. The principles don't change. Spend less than you earn. Build your buffer. Pay yourself first. Invest consistently. Avoid toxic debt. These rules won't just build wealth. They'll build wisdom, confidence, and freedom. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be intentional. And if you stay intentional, through the noise, the pressure, the temptation, you'll look up one day and realize you're no longer managing money. You're mastering it. This has been your guide to the 5 rules of smart money management. Share this with someone who's ready to take control of their finances and their future. Thanks for listening. I'm Scott Blaze, and I'll see you in the next episode. Let me leave you with one more perspective. one that might shift the way you see your financial journey forever. Every dollar you manage is a reflection of your inner world, your beliefs, your boundaries, your hopes, your fears. That's why the work of money is rarely just about money. It's about becoming the kind of person who honors their time, who directs their energy, who creates peace, not pressure. Kevin didn't follow these 5 rules because he was disciplined by nature. He followed them because he was clear about his vision. He knew what he wanted: freedom, security, and options. So he aligned his habits with that vision. And that's your real job, not to just build a budget, but to build a vision, to design a life where your money is working for you, not controlling you. Start asking better questions. Instead of, "Can I afford this?" ask, "Does this align with my future?" Instead of, "How do I get more?" ask, "How can I use what I have better?" Instead of, "Why am I behind?" ask, "What small step can I take today?" You are not behind. You are not broken. You are building. One rule at a time. One decision at a time. One day at a time. And over time, this becomes your new normal. You'll no longer need to think about spending less, because you'll have defined what enough means. You'll no longer worry about emergencies, because you'll be ready for them. You'll no longer chase income, because you'll be building wealth. And most of all, you'll walk with a quiet confidence, because you've done the work. So here's your next step. Don't wait until next Monday. Don't wait until your next paycheck. Pick one rule, apply it today, even if it's just tracking your next 3 purchases, or setting up your first savings transfer, or canceling one unused subscription. That one move may feel small, but small is where the power lives. Start small, stay consistent, and let your future self thank you. Because smart money management isn't a destination, it's a lifestyle. And that lifestyle begins the moment you decide it matters. And if you need one more reason to begin today, let it be this. Every time you practice smart money management, you're reclaiming control from a world that profits off your confusion. You're saying no to chaos, no to stress, no to the lies that tell you you're not capable. And you're saying yes to purpose, to strategy, to peace. Money will never define your worth, but it will reveal your patterns. And when you become the kind of person who stewards well what they have, the world opens up in ways you never imagined. So begin. Begin boldly. Begin humbly. But begin. Because the 5 rules you've just learned are more than financial advice. They are life anchors. And when applied with consistency, they don't just build a bank account. They build a legacy. Your move. And the best part? You don't need permission. You already have everything you need to begin. A clear decision, a simple rule, a consistent step. That's how change is made. So let this episode be more than inspiration. Let it be instruction. Let it be your signal to move. Because your future is waiting. And it belongs to those who act with wisdom, one smart money decision at a time. Smart money management starts with awareness, but it grows with action. Make the next move your best one yet. Thank you for choosing growth over comfort, clarity over confusion, and purpose over impulse. Your journey has already begun, and it only gets better from here. Keep going. You're closer than you think. One decision at a time. One habit at a time. That's how you build a financial future you're proud of. Let's build it, starting now. Because when you take control of your money, you take control of your life. And that's the smartest move you'll ever make. Your next move matters more than your last mistake. So choose wisely, and start today. You are the author of your financial story. Make every chapter count. And remember, every smart choice you make now echoes for decades. Let that be your motivation, not just to manage money, but to master it for life. Because real wealth isn't just built, it's repeated in every wise decision you make. Let's take this one step further. Because smart money management isn't just a checklist, it's a mindset you bring into every part of your life. The way you spend time, the way you handle pressure, the way you define enough, all of it reflects your relationship with money. Kevin once said something that stuck with me. I don't manage money because I love numbers. I manage money because I love freedom. That's the core. You don't need to love spreadsheets. You need to love what money can make possible: less stress, more time, more generosity, more opportunity. So let's ground this in practice. Start by visualizing your life 5 years from now. If you followed these 5 rules with 80% consistency, what would be different? Would you have less debt? More savings? A side hustle that became your main income? Would you feel calmer, more confident, more in control? Now imagine you ignored them. Where would you be? This is the power of trajectory. Tiny decisions today create massive differences tomorrow. So here's a practical next step. Create your own 5-rule roadmap. 1. Write each of the 5 rules on a sheet of paper. 2. Under each rule, write one behavior you will commit to this month. Just one. 3. Put that list somewhere visible: bathroom mirror, desktop wallpaper, phone lock screen. 4. Review it weekly. Celebrate progress. Adjust if needed. You don't need a 12-week course. You need consistency and clarity. And here's a bonus idea: find your financial why. Kevin's was freedom to travel and retire early. Yours might be to buy your first home, or take care of your parents, or leave a toxic job, or build a legacy for your children. Your why is your fuel. When the routine gets boring, when the budget feels tight, when the sacrifices feel unfair, your why reminds you that this is worth it. Let's not forget generosity. One of the most overlooked signs of financial health is the ability to give. Not because you have to, but because you want to. When you manage money wisely, you unlock the capacity to support others, to give without fear, to respond when someone's in need. That's a quiet kind of wealth, not measured in status, but in impact. And finally, remember this: everyone starts somewhere. No one is born knowing how to budget, invest, or delay gratification. These are learned skills, and you are capable of learning them, step by step, choice by choice. So today, take that first or next step. Revisit the rules. Spend less than you earn. Build your emergency fund. Pay yourself first. Invest consistently. Avoid toxic debt. Simple, powerful, proven. Apply them, share them, live them, and one day, they won't feel like rules at all. They'll feel like the way you live. That's the goal. Thank you for walking this journey with me. I'll see you in the next episode of Money Mind Unlocked.